Hello everyone and welcome in. My name is Kass and today we are going to be doing a comfy cozy paint with me, so I hope you enjoy. Grab a blanket, sit back, relax, and we're gonna dive into it. First things first, I had to break out the handy dandy big ol' thumbnail sketchbook as always. This is what we're thinking. We're gonna go with ducks. I recently went to the zoo with my coworker slash ride or die, shout out Brad, and we saw these little ducks in the manatee section and we were like, okay, the manatee's cute, but also ducks. And I got inspired and immediately came home and was like, I need to paint ducks ASAP. So that's what I did. And I'll be honest, I find it really hard to get the motivation and inspiration at the same time to paint because I always talk myself out of it purely because of setup and cleanup. It's a lot and I just kind of want to do it and be done. And then, sometimes I just don't have any ideas or things just aren't working out. But I had all of it. The stars aligned. Ducks, why not? And this was one that I'm pretty sure I did over the course of 2 sittings that were maybe a week or 2 apart, not months apart like the Zelda painting was. I was really excited to get back to this one whenever I did leave it off. But as you saw, I did go in originally with watercolors. I come in later on the second sitting and I do some gouache for further detail work. I really liked combining the two because I am still so new to gouache that I'm not super comfortable with it and how far I can push it. And the watercolor is kind of like my comfort zone. I've been doing watercolors for a while, so it was nice to kind of pair the two and ease me into the painting with watercolors and then come in with gouache and do some extras. So I really like how this turned out. And I hope you enjoyed as well. Going into the next part of the video, I do little life updates if you're new here. I maybe post a art video once a month to like once every few months. And so during that time I like to give a little life update of what's going on with me, Cass. If you're interested, you probably could be like, I don't even care at all. Well, you're gonna have to because I want to talk about it. My last Paint With Me video was in January, and then in February I think I just released a gaming video for Detroit Become Human. So if you want to watch that, that is available as well. I'm doing a little let's play of Detroit Become Human. Obviously there wasn't any art video in February. This was supposed to be the video. I did this painting back in January, and it's been fully edited except for the voiceover since January. And I have just been so busy all February that I'm just now getting to it. February, let's talk about it. Life update. It was my birthday month. I turned 27. Shout out to all my other 98 babies turning 27 this year. Woo! But yeah, I had my birthday. Originally, I had planned a birthday party, which I don't typically do, but I was so excited to have this birthday party and I had to cancel it because I ended up getting the flu at the very beginning of the month, and I had a fever and everything, and that was really upsetting having to cancel it. But then when I reached out to everyone to be like, hey, I'm canceling, I'm sick, literally like 3 of them to 4 of them were like, we're also very sick with the flu. So we all had the flu at the same time. So anyways, it worked out, we rescheduled. My actual birthday, I also worked, so that wasn't great, but that was on me because I forgot to take the day off ahead of time, and by the time I remembered, schedule's already out, so oh well. But my partner did make it up to me. They took me on a little aquarium date that weekend and it was so fun. If you haven't guessed yet, I love all things animals, all things nature. It's a majority of the art I do. If it's not cute little fan art things, it is probably animal or nature based. I also am currently painting a inspired photo that I took while at the zoo. And then obviously I asked my partner if we could go to the aquarium for my birthday. Yeah, I just love it so much. But could you blame me when ducks be this cute? And then of course, one of my presents that my partner gave me was they wrote a song for me, which I was literally in tears. It was the sweetest thing ever. If you don't know, I am dating a musician. Super proud. I'm gonna go ahead and plug them. They're on Spotify. Their name is Jumpsuit Giant. Definitely go and check them out. They have an entire album in the works right now, and I cannot wait until they release it. So yeah, I hope you check them out. Next in our February life update, we have Valentine's Day, which it ended up being so nice. We had plans to do like a fancy dinner where we dress up and everything. The meal was divine, and I always love seeing me and my partner all dressed up to the nines. It is such a cool thing. We don't do it very often, but you know, when we do, it is always nice. So we did that, and then the next day we ended up staying in on actual Valentine's Day, and we made homemade pizzas. I attempted to make mine in the shape of a heart, but it kind of just looks like a butt. I tried. I am not a professional pizza maker, unfortunately. But it was really nice to just relax. I think we ended up watching a movie, and we played a card game called Couples, where it's just kind of like deeper questions. Not for the faint of heart. This game, we were sobbing. We were sobbing at the end, but like good, happy, we're getting to know each other super well. So yeah, I recommend the game if you want to get to know your partner a little bit better. It was really good. Next, we have the rescheduled birthday party. Finally, it had came. I originally planned it for like the very beginning of the month, and now we were doing it at the almost very end of the month. So I ended up just inviting a bunch of my friends and some of the friends I've met through my partner. And originally the plan was like a paint and sip. So I had canvases out and acrylic, and if we wanted to play board games or something, I had a bunch of things there just in case, as someone who always needs to be doing something. I wanted to provide that for my friends who might also be like that. But it ended up working out that we all just chatted, and it was really cool because my friends got to meet my partner's friends, and they vibed so well together. We just had, you know, great time, great food, and just good laughs during it, which was nice. And then, of course, the next day, my best friend from North Carolina was in town, and so we met up with her for brunch, and she finally got to meet my partner, and it ended up being a cute almost double date because she brought her boyfriend, and then we also had our other friend in the trio as well, and she was like, it's like I'm with my parents. So we had a nice brunch, and then afterwards we went to a Winter Pride street festival, which was really nice because the last one I went to was in the summer and it had rained the entire time, and so it just put a damper on things when everything was dreary and gloomy and you were soaking wet. But this time it was nice. The weather was great. It was nice and breezy, and we got to essentially do the Pride Street Festival. It wasn't any smaller like I would have thought it would be. It was pretty much really cool, and they had drag races going on. They had a bunch of art vendors, really good food, And of course our little rock climbing place was out there, which I tried. I had done it in the summer and I was able to hang for like almost a minute, and this time I was like, yeah, now there's a prize involved other than just like a free entry ticket to the rock climbing place. Let me try. And I tried, and they had made the hang significantly smaller and harder to hold, so I didn't even get my feet off the ground. It was very sad. My tips of very itty bitty tips of my fingers hurt so bad afterwards. So learned my lesson, not gonna do that again. I'm not a rock climber, I just do it every now and then. And then also in February, that has been keeping me busy other than, you know, work, hanging out with my partner, my friends, and doing birthday and Valentine's things. I've been crafting up a storm, as always. However, a little bit more this time. I decided I wanted to go to Ren Fair this year, and I actually wanted to have a whole costume that I've made. I could have made it easy on myself and just bought the costume, but where's the fun in that, especially in this economy? So instead, I'm gonna make it. I also just really had this need to DIY a costume. So I have been working with like EVA foam to make like armor pieces, which is my first time doing it. So it's definitely been a whole trial and error from start to end. Quick little intermission on the life update. This is when I switch over from watercolor to gouache painting. And I really like, honestly, where I left it here, but I was like, it could definitely go further. So this is where I start to push it a little bit more and do some more detail work. I almost just left it and just finished it with just the watercolor, but I was like, something's missing, just a little something. And I am so glad that I had that instinct to be like, let me come back to it. Let me see if I can figure it out in the next week. And then, you know, come back to it. And this is what I came back to. So I'm gonna keep on doing this. Also realized I had painted the duck completely the wrong colors that I originally intended. I wanted it to be a mallard duck, and it wasn't. So now we're going back to life update about the Ren Fair and costuming and cosplaying, I guess. But yeah, I've never worked with EVA foam. It was definitely an experience to attempt it. And I'm still trial and erroring a lot of different things. I am just still working on the first piece. And then I am also learning how to sew with like a sewing machine. I've always only done hand sewing. So it's definitely an experience to do it with machine. It's a lot quicker for sure, but it's also a little bit more intimidating. So I actually attempted to sew a corset last night. It's not perfect. I still need to finish it, but I got a good chunk of it done. And while I'm very excited that I was able to get so far, I was definitely beating myself up because it wasn't perfect. But it was my very first one, so I'm trying to be okay with it. So those are the two that I just started working on. I did Goodwill a shirt, a medieval shirt, which that was like such a cool find. And then I'm going to hem some pants to make it look a little bit more Ren Fair-esque. So that is on the docket of things to do, and hopefully by the next paint with me I can show y'all a picture of how it turned out. I've also been working on some decorations for my bathroom. I'm gonna make a whole video on it. I've been recording different things of the process, but my brother went to Japan last year and he brought me back some Studio Ghibli art. One of them, I think it was supposed to be a tea towel, but I really loved the artwork on it that I framed it and I put it in my bathroom, and that kind of like spurred this idea of, hey, I can be nerdy and make it my decor while still being cute. So I decided to start crafting up a storm and got into punch needle embroidery, which that was another one that I attempted my very first one, and I can throw a picture up here, but I attempted my very first one. It did not turn out very well, and I was really frustrated and didn't want to work on it again because I just didn't think I was good at it. But I took another stab at it, and it turns out practice makes perfect. Who would have thunk? I'm obsessed with how it turned out. All the little add-ons I'm doing. So the Studio Ghibli artwork is from Spirited Away, so I decided to make a Spirited Away themed decored bathroom. So I'm working on some soot sprites done in the punch needle embroidery, and then my big one that I have been putting off was Haku, done in punch needle as well. So I'm currently working on the Haku piece. It is actually going by really smoothly, and I'm surprised, and I think it's because it is the 6th attempt at doing punch needle embroidery, so I finally feel like I'm getting my footing. And then I'm also going to be doing these little bath tokens made out of just some cardboard and Mod Podge and paint. I'm trying to be resourceful and use the resources I have on hand, so I'm going to be doing that as well. And of course, I have been crocheting up a storm. I think I mentioned this in my last paint with me, but I have a specific crochet project that I only work on while I'm at work. And we don't have any calls going on, which isn't very often. But I've been working on this piece for probably 8 months now. And it is the Tanjiro cardigan, or Tanjiro Haori, but I'm making it into a little cardigan. I've been working on it for 8 months at work specifically. I don't work on it while I'm at home or anything, but I just realized I'm on my last row, or like last strip of rows that I need to do. I'm so close to finishing, and I'm honestly A, really excited, but B, also kind of nervous to dive into like another big project that's gonna take me as long as this one did. But I already do have one in mind. I do want to make Hal Pendragon from Howl's Moving Castle's jacket, the iconic jacket from the movie. So I have all the yarn. I've had it on hand for a while, and that's gonna be the next one I dive into. So whenever I finish both of these, I will have to share them with you. And if you want to keep up to date with my work in progresses, crafts, and all of that, I am posting my journey on leveling up all these new skills on my Instagram and Twitter, and I'm also on Blue Sky and Kara. So if you want to check those out, I will link all of those in the description, and I hope you enjoy. We are finally at the tape peeling part of the video, so I will go away and you can enjoy. So some post-painting thoughts. I have some things I really like, have some things that I don't really like. Originally, I thought having the border, like some of my other ones I've done, would be nice. But for some reason I was like, let me have this part not have a border. And it doesn't make sense why the only fully colored part of the painting doesn't have a border, and then all of this that is mostly white has a white border, so it just doesn't fit. Maybe if I had like painted the background a little bit cream, it would fit better, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. I thought maybe for like a brief second I was like, I can paint the border black, but I think that might be too stark of a color to paint it. I really like how this duck came out. I feel like I might have overworked it a little bit, trying to differentiate the white fluff of the duck between the white background. Again, maybe if I had changed the background to a specific color, it would have been a lot easier. Like this one came out a lot better and I didn't have to do as much. This one is so-so. I feel like I might have overworked it a little bit. It's not exactly the color I was going for, but then I realized it was kind of tough to get that color. I really like that I decided to go further with this like greenery here, and I kind of wish I had toned this area back a bit, like just and had more green in there. I think that would have been nice. I feel like I had an idea based on this guy here. I kind of wanted to add more to it than just keep it pretty basic. So it feels like a whole mess of things. I promise I thought this through. I did little thumbnails. I'm not in love with it, but there's pieces of it that I really do like. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me work on it. I definitely pushed it a bit further than I thought I would. Actually, this was 2 days after I worked on it for like a few hours on day 1. I got to a point where I was like, yeah, it's pretty much done. I might just go in with like a black Sharpie, like a really thin fine line Sharpie, and outline some parts so it's a little bit more defined. And then I let it sit for a bit, and I found this one YouTuber who is amazing at gouache, and it inspired me a lot. And she does like really good at hyperrealism in her gouache paintings, and I am nowhere near that level. I understand that, but it inspired me to be a little bit more detailed and work my painting a little bit further than I might typically work on, and kind of explore more of the opaque side of the gouache, because I feel like when I was using the gouache, I stuck with more of the translucent watercolor kind of side of the gouache painting. So there's definitely bits and bobs of both. I do like that I went back in and I changed this to a mallard duck, because the original photo that I used, I went to the zoo and I saw a mallard duck on a turtle, and I thought that was really cute. So that was where this kind of was inspired by. And I messed up on the original painting and I wasn't even paying attention, and I drew and painted like your standard white duck, and then afterwards I was like, that was supposed to be a mallard, and it literally isn't really defined at all. So I am glad I went back in and made it a mallard. The turtles, I'm not in love with them. I realized after the fact I've never been good at drawing turtles. So that was on me for attempting to add one into a piece. But I love duck booty. I think that's my favorite. This one goes real hard. I think I really like how this one turned out. And I think I will love the piece more so overall as more time passes. I feel like I'm very hypercritical of myself right after I finish a painting, because I'm like, I could have made it so much better, when in reality I'm like, I did a lot of what I can do, and if I try to push it any further, I feel like I'd mess it up, you know? Well, hearing back from past Kass when I originally recorded this, a little over a month later, I really like how it turned out. I really enjoy this piece. There's a few things that still bug me, specifically that lower right corner, but I am obsessed with the little duck booty and the little baby duck, and this duck right here with the little flower on its head is so cute. So I do love how it came out overall, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you like what I'm doing here and you want to see more, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It means a ton to me to see that you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. I will have some more gaming content coming out soon, and another gouache painting I can't wait to show you. So I hope you have a wonderful week. Do not forget to hydrate, be kind to yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!